Welcome to the NFL Prezidential Address Part 2. Week 1 is in front of us, and on this show, we're going to look at the San Fran-Pittsburgh game, Chicago and Green Bay, the Raiders versus Denver, and one of the most important games on the card with playoff implications already, the Chargers and Miami. If you guys missed the first show, part 1, check it out. It's up on YouTube. We looked at the Detroit KC game, Carolina, Atlanta, the Jags game, and Tennessee and New Orleans. Let's get into it, boys. San Fran -2.5 versus Pittsburgh. 41 is the total. Some of these lines might change as we do tape on Tuesdays. Let's get into it. San Fran is coming into this year with a lot of mojo and hype, and it is warranted. This team is absolutely loaded, stacked on both sides of the field, and they really should have no problem winning their division. With that said, Purdy is coming off major surgery, and he's also walking into a real legitimate thing called the sophomore slump. Now, who knows whether that'll affect him or not, but it needs to be taken into account. As for Pittsburgh, wow, is Tomlin a monster of a coach or what? They get rid of their top wide receiver. They lose TJ Watt last year. They start a rookie quarterback, and they still win 9 games. However, this team is in a real tough division, and it'll be really close whether they make the playoffs or not. Irrelevant to this bet. But as for this game, I look at 41, 40.5, and I think this number is just too low. I grant you that both defenses are really good, and I mean really good, legit top 5 defenses in football. But I think we're going to see a different style of Pittsburgh this year. I think we're going to see them throw the ball more. I don't think they're going to have as conservative a game plan as they had last year. Pittsburgh used to be a low-scoring team. I don't think that's going to be the way it is this coming season. Pickett to Pickens, unbelievable. Pickett has shown he can throw the ball around the field and that he can stretch the field, which is crucial in moving the ball. It opens up the run game. It opens up the tight end slot plays. And I think that's the kind of offense we will see out of them. As for San Francisco, they are just absolutely loaded with offensive weapons. I look at this game and I think 24-20 seems like a very realistic score to me. I think this total is too low. We're going to take San Fran and Pittsburgh over the total of 41. Before we get into the Green Bay Chicago game, I do want to make mention, I have a promo code up for you guys. It is Prez99. That's PREZ99. For $99, you get an entire month of my NFL plays. And trust me when I say you want to be betting my NFL plays. I'm regarded as one of the top NFL betting experts on the planet. I've had 2 losing seasons in the last 25 years. Last year, I had a winning regular season. I would have had a winning season overall, but I released too many prop bets in the Charger-Jacksonville game, and it did not go well for me. But I did have a good regular season, and I ended the season going 10-0 in the Super Bowl with prop bets and sides and totals. So please take advantage of that promo code, Prez99. Now, look, Green Bay is going into Chicago. They're +1. The total in this game is 43.5. And already I can see all the Chicago people slagging on me. I tell all my friends on a regular basis, there's no more rabid fan base on the planet than the Bears fan base. You say one bad thing about this team, 600 negative comments show up on YouTube. We need those comments. We need it for our algorithm. So I will insult the Bears. Firstly, let me just start by saying we're going straight to the under in this game. And frankly, I am shocked that this line isn't 40. Green Bay is starting Love this season, and I guarantee you that this will be a run-first team who tries to pound the ball down their opposition's throat. Last year, with the mighty Aaron Rodgers behind center, this team was still middle of the pack in scoring, putting up only 21.8 points per game. Now they have lost Rodgers and added almost no one. And there is just no reason to think they put up more than 21.8 points than they did last year. I think they'll be under that. I think it'll be roughly around 19 points per game. As for the Bears, I know the people in Chicago don't like when I bag this team, but come on, man. This Bears team scored an average of 19 points per game, and that number is actually flattering to them. First off, there were games where the Bears didn't even put up more than 100 yards in the air. 100 yards in the air, and that was more than once. They scored 10 and 19 points against Green Bay last season. Literally, out of the 17 games the Bears played, they scored under 13 points in 7 of them. Even though Chicago had the worst D in football last season, I still see the Green Bay playing tight to the vest. I see them playing conservative football, and I see them squeaking out. Well, I don't know if it's a win or not. I lean on them, but I got to think this game's going 17-13, and that's 2 touchdowns, less than the current total. This is a stone cold under. Bet Green Bay and Chicago under 43.5. Then we're talking about Las Vegas Raiders and Denver. The Raiders are plus 3.5. It is moving towards 4. The total in this game is 44. How could you not look at the dog in this spot? Jimmy G takes over from Derek Carr, and one thing we know about Jimmy, other than my wife is so attracted to him, it's out of control. But put that aside, he is a winner. This guy has a career record of 53-21, which is over 71%. That is sick. And he has just as many weapons now as he did with San Fran. They got Adams as wide receiver, one of the best running backs in the league. This team is loaded with talent on the offensive side of the ball. The Raiders also have Max Crosby and Khalil Mack on D, and although they didn't do well on D last year, I expect them to be at least in the top half of the league. As for the Broncos, why should I believe it was Hackett's fault that Wilson sucked ass last season? Did Hackett throw the ball? Did Hackett go through the read progressions? Did Hackett throw interceptions? No. Wilson simply sucked ass on his own. I do think we see a better Russell Wilson this year under Peyton, but until this Denver team shows me something, I think the Raiders are better. This is a division game, and we get ourselves more than a field goal with a team that has more top shelf talent. There's no reason to overthink this play. Let's take the Raiders plus 3.5. Guys, if you like this video, you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Lambaste me for hating on the Bears. Miami plus 3 versus the Chargers. 51 is the total. I know it's only week 1, but this game could literally decide which one of these two teams make the playoffs. They are both coming into the season with big expectations, and both have stars up and down their lineup. Before Tua got injured last year, this was one of the most prolific, unstoppable offenses in the league. Hill and Waddle are absolute superstars, and they both had great chemistry with Tua. However, I think the Dolphins' running game is mediocre. Their tight ends are, well, irrelevant. And last season, they had a bottom 10 D. As for the Chargers, this team has been chomping at the bit. They had probably the worst loss in playoff history last year and have sat on that terrible feeling all summer. I love this Chargers team, and I think Herbert is a way, way, way better quarterback than Tua. I also think they have really good wide receivers, maybe the best threesome in all of football. And although they stunk running the ball, I think Eckler is better than Mostert. As for the D, we already pointed out Miami were in the bottom half of the league, but so were the Chargers. Miami had literally the 6th worst pass D in all of football and really didn't sign anyone major to fix that. I'll tell you what, let's bottom line this. I think this game goes into the 60s, 35-31. I like the Chargers minus 3 and over the total. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to watch part 1 and make sure to watch part 3. Use the promo code PREZ99. We'll see you on the next one.